Usually when we have a challenge, we close up because we are fearful or we are angry or sad or depressed. And so we naturally tend to kind of close up, trying to protect and trying to push away that thing that's bothering us, that is irritating us or is scaring us. And then we have talked together about the importance of, at that moment, in fact, not trying to run away from it or push it away, because the more we push against it, the more it grows, because we are making ourselves vulnerable with that process of fearing, getting irritated, getting depressed. It's just like we are looking at the situation, and besides looking to the situation, we are adding our own narrative. Oh, who knows where much worse it's going to get. I can't take it anymore. Oh, this shouldn't be happening. All kinds of resistance. And as we mentioned before, and it's also one of the main teachings in spiritual development from all kinds of traditions, from Buddhism to Chinese philosophy or Indian or whatever, and even modern psychology, the more that you resist, it's life hits you with an arrow. There is impermanence. There is challenges that we know that has been in our life, and we have overcome different challenges. And so there is always something, some kind of impermanence that takes away what we had, or that presents us with something we don't want. So that's the first arrow. And we should know that that's part of life. It gives good things and it gives challenges. And the challenges are a good thing in the sense that usually awake us and move us to evolution. So that's the first arrow. When we have that first arrow, we either close up, fight, we say, why me, why now, why us, this shouldn't be. More arrows that we are sticking in ourselves. If instead of that, we take the situation for what the situation is. Yes, we need to be alone, we cannot be together for Christmas. Or yes, we have a pandemic and it's killing lots of people. Yes. And then when you see yourself adding, and who knows how long more this is going to be, it's going to be worse, and why this person didn't do this or that, all that energy, that's wasted energy, because it's negative and it doesn't take you to any change. It looks at the past, it looks at the future, but it doesn't look at the present moment and the situation. So we need to differentiate between the situation and the narrative about the situation. In Hamlet, there are several interesting quotes. One is to be or not to be, right? Everyone knows that one. And then there is also a quotation, a moment where he says, nothing is in itself good or bad, which is something that the Buddha would have said. Our mind makes it so. So it's our thinking, our narrative, which then makes whatever thing much worse, or if we are, in another kind of circumstance, could make us very excited about something external to us. So when we are confronted with external challenges, what we need to go is to go inward and to say, okay, take a deep breath, use some of the techniques we have learned, which is, with the hands here at the Sea of Tranquility point. We are going to do something like that soon, and also some other points. And then try to stay present without getting afraid, angry, depressed, and all that other, which is the narrative that we add to the situation. So that's our practice today. This, as we look back into 2020, try to see the situation for what it was, or what, the moment itself, and then differentiate of what are the other commentary that the mind is doing that makes the situation even worse or absolutely impossible to bear, etc. And then where does that take us? If it would solve something, but it doesn't solve anything, it depletes us. So we need to raise above the situation and then find what is that we want to cultivate from there. Okay, so let's combine it with some practices that help the body also to relax and the mind to integrate the processes that we're talking about. Okay, so let's see if we can sit. So take a few deep breaths, arriving to where you are and inviting your body to relax. Just wherever your breaths are going, it's okay. Just for a moment, coming in to your own inner space of tranquility. And we are going to be working with three areas of energy. There is three major areas of energy that have been recognized in all cultures. One is at the level of the abdomen, one is at the level of the heart and lungs, and one is right here, the third eye, which is just a little bit above the eyebrows. Okay, so we sit with the spine straight and the body relaxed. Sometimes the spine tends to curve a little bit in the back, so see if you can bring that forward without forcing anything, and then invite your shoulders to be relaxed, like if they were hanging drapes. So straight back and a relaxed front. And we are going to bring our hand to our abdomen, to the area of the navel, and 3-finger breaths down the navel. There is a point there called Sea of Energy. So we are going to put our hand, the center of our palms, right there, just from the navel down, and then it would cover. 3-finger breath would be like around here. Okay, we have one hand there, and if you like, you can put the other hand too, or whatever is comfortable for you. And we are going to do a few deep breaths, exhaling, bringing the abdomen in while we exhale, and then relaxing the abdomen comes forward as we inhale. And we are going to do 7 of these breaths at your own pace. This is an area of our body that's associated with the element of earth. And so as we do this breathing, we invite a sense of grounding, of being supported by the earth, by the chair. If you are laying in bed, by the bed. Exhaling, bringing the abdomen in gently. Inhaling, relaxing the abdomen, the air comes in. And we invite a sense of safety, sense of being grounded and safe at this very moment. This is also an area of our body that has to do with our presence in the world, with the way we relate to ourselves. So as we exhale, we let go of any sense of confusion or shame or guilt or any other troubles that you could be having with your own presence in the world. And as we inhale, we invite that we want to cultivate, related to the sense of safety and grounding. And maybe remember something during this year that you have learned about yourself and about how to take better care of yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually. Giving thanks for the possibility of learning this and of having it as a tool with ourselves for today, the rest of the days of the end of this year, and all of next year and the days to come. Next, we are going to be working with the other big center of energy, vortex of energy that happens in our chest, where our lungs are and our heart is, such crucial vital organs. And this one has to do with the element of space. So it's an opening of the heart, opening of the chest. The one at the abdomen had to do with our presence in the world and our relation to ourselves. The one here has to do with our interconnections with others. So with nature, with each other, with our family, loved ones, neighbors, the bigger community. So this one here is about interconnection, ourselves interconnecting with others. And now we are going to also do a few breaths. Now we are going to do a few breaths and also invite a space that I'm going to direct to you. I'm seeing that some of the heads are a little bit with the chin up, and I would recommend that the chin would be parallel to the floor. So that allows more circulation, more easy circulation of energy along the spine and along your neck and your head. So with the chin parallel to the floor, the spine is straight, back straight, body, front of the body relaxed, shoulders relaxed like drapes hanging. We bring now the attention to the area of the lungs and the heart. And we are going to do a few breaths. These breaths are going to this area of the ribs and also here. They are not abdominal, but they are more here. And we put our hand, we know that here we have a point called Sea of Tranquility point, is along the center of your breastbone, and it's almost at the end of the breastbone. So we put the center of our palm there. And if you like, you can put the other palm there, or you can have the other down, whatever is more comfortable for you. And with the spine straight, the body relaxed, we are going to have a few breathings. As we inhale, like sighing, we feel this, the chest expanding, all that area opening up. And as we exhale through the nose or through the mouth, whatever is more comfortable for you today, we let go of whatever is burdening us in the area of our interrelations. Maybe there is still grief for a loss that we have experienced, and we honor that loss. And we invite some peace, some light to come in to accept that process. And honor also the memories with that person that's gone. Know that they are with us in spirit, that the spirit doesn't die. Or maybe we have other experiences that we are working, processing in our relationships. As we inhale and exhale, like sighing, and with the center of our palms, our healing hands in the area of our Sea of Tranquility point, we remember this year something that we have learned about interrelations, about our interrelations, our potential, our what we are cultivating, we want to cultivate, or also what we want to let go that we used to have as a habit, but we see that's not, it's not beneficial for us or for others. Inhaling like sighing, we invite a sense of spaciousness, great compassion for ourselves and for others. And we give thanks for what we are learning this year about a better way of interrelating in our immediate environment and also in our greater communities. The first step is always waking up. And holding that, that's tender and dear to our hearts, that little seed, that little plant that wants to grow, just holding it and nurturing, inviting ourselves to find new ways to nurture it. So that we can create a better world. And seeing ourselves relating in that new way with greater trust and love. And also appreciating and celebrating nature and doing whatever is in our part to protect this earth that supports all of us. And finally, we go to the third center of energy, this center uh, just above the eyebrow, just right there. The third eye. You have the two eyes that see the external world, and then you have this third eye that it shows you what's beyond the surface. And in that sense, also this year has been waking up. What we have seen, the COVID, the imbalance in nature that produced this virus that now is affecting all of us, the great sadness of seeing what happened with George Floyd and the ups and downs of our elections, all that is just the ripples of the surface of something much deeper. So, with this third eye and with our heart open, we see what's deeper, what's deeper in potential for us to cultivate, consciously participating in the evolution of consciousness, and also giving thanks that finally we are opening our eyes and we are seeing in the darkness, we are seeing in what before we were just totally oblivious to, we just didn't see it, and now we see it. That's the first step. So from seeing it and from the suffering that creates internally an acceptance, we cannot continue like this, then eventually comes also the changes. So, or immediately comes the changes. So I heard the other day someone giving this beautiful metaphor. He was talking more about personal things, but I think it also applies to us as a country. He was talking about the caterpillar and how the caterpillar, you know, sees other caterpillars maybe becoming butterflies, or someone tells him or her about the possibility of becoming a butterfly, and says, no, 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 I'm none of those things of flying in the earth. I'm just, I'm well here. I belong here. And keeps munching the leaves and, kind of going as a caterpillar and doesn't want to do anything, nothing to do with being a butterfly, right? Just, it seems too airy, too much up there. Who knows what that is? I won't have the ground under me. But then at some point, the caterpillar continues to experience the life of a caterpillar. And each time more, it becomes unbearable to keep being a caterpillar until it finally is ready to say, okay, well, I'll try being the butterfly, right? And I feel that, that applies to us when we are confronted to challenges. And it also applies, I think, a lot to our state as humanity right now, all over the world, and very especially here in the United States. So many people are still trying to be the caterpillars. It's no, none of these Green New Deal and all these, flying up there. We know, and this is not what we have done before. Who knows what it means, whatever. But then we are going to continue having the pandemic in 2021. We are going to continue having the economic hardships and unrest and, and hunger, families with children, people going bankrupt, all that. It's going to continue happening, and maybe it will make this heavy caterpillar stop chewing uh, the leaves and go, okay, let's try it. It's unbearable. We cannot continue like that as a nation. So where this helps for you with your own personal challenges and that's asking to be born, or whether we can hold it as a possibility also for our communities and our nation. I thought it was a great analogy, and so I'm sharing it with you right now. And we are going to go to the third center, this one, which has to do, this one had to do with our personal life and the way we relate to ourselves. This one has to do with our interpersonal life and how we interconnect with others. And this has been a year of really waking up to how interconnected we are. We are in the same boat. We need to save everyone together, or keep working with the challenges as they become worse. But we are not going to think of bad things, because that's a narrative. So we'll drop the narrative. We'll just take the situation. Let's see how we can work, how we can bring the best. And then this one transcends the preoccupation with oneself and transcends even the interconnection. And this one is more about being spirit, being unmanifested consciousness, being part of this evolving consciousness that has been evolving since the beginning of the universe, and which is our deep nature. It's the mirror, is the field of energy in which everything else arises, manifests, and passes. And so the fact that we are a spirit, we usually think of ourselves more as a body, or as roles that we play, professor, husband, wife, daughter, whatever, employee, employer. But beyond all that, we are really spirit. We just take this form as a human being to go through experiences, to evolve that consciousness that capacity of looking and understanding. And then eventually we shed this carcass, this crust, and go to continue learning. So if we can keep that in mind and we can trust that we are part of this journey that's moving forward, sometimes slow. This year there is more change being promoted or awakening. So there is a lot of potential to awaken through adversity and through turmoil. And remembering and trusting that we are part of a bigger journey. So beyond the preoccupations with ourselves or with our relations, there is this deep trust that we are also spirit, that we are mainly a spirit, and the rest is circumstances that come and go. And so, as we bring our attention to the third eye, the element associated with this is light, and light is also consciousness. When Jesus says, "You are the light of the world," and he, in another part, says, "I am the light of the world." Jesus says that. Light meaning consciousness, right? Light meaning understanding, love, interconnection at a greater level than just usual roles, but just love for everything, love for life, love for all the people that are suffering right now all around the world. The love that will accompany us in these big changes that we need to bring. So this one is about light and peace, and it's beyond any particular circumstance or beyond any particular plan. So we connect with a sense of peace, like if you are connecting with the light of the moon in a summer night. It's a very cooling, very calming, very peaceful, and very trusting. Just the moon illuminates everything, whether it's a rock, a bit of uh, stagnant water, everything. So it's a sense of peace that illuminates the whole process of evolving with its ups and downs. So we are going to go now to the third one, to this Anya chakra, the vortex of energy. The Indians call it Anya chakra, the Chinese call it upper field of the elixir. It's still with the spine straight, um, straight back, firm, straight back, soft front, relaxed shoulders like drapes hanging. We breathe uh, intercostal and chest breathings like sighing. And we keep the attention here at the level of the third eye. And we invite this deep sense of trust, of being spirit in a journey of evolving consciousness. We invite a sense of a light, like the light of the moon, bathing us outwardly and inwardly, penetrating to all the cells of our being, like a sense of light and inner peace, of raising above the circumstances and trusting that this is part of the journey of evolution, of evolving, of waking up to deeper understandings of the possibilities of how we can live together. So we inhale slowly, gently, and deeply, like sighing. We feel our chest opening, and we bring the attention to the third eye as we inhale and exhale, inviting a sense of light and inner peace, and remembering something this year that helped us connect with this sense of being spirit, being evolving consciousness. A sense of presence, of stillness. Don't worry too much about finding a particular memory. Just invite a sense of light and peace and put yourself in a situation of not knowing and opening yourself to any insights that might come at this moment, and be happy with whatever happens. If no memories or insights come, that's okay too. Just invite a sense of peace and light and keep it open as you relax, and have a gentle smile as a sign of trusting this journey of evolution. Of opening ourselves to our unlimited potential, of compassion, of kindness, of inner strength and peace. And giving thanks for whatever we have learned this year in this continuing journey of evolution about ourselves as a spirit. And it doesn't need to be anything grandiose. Maybe it was something small, maybe it was some moment. And if nothing else, even awakening to the idea that, that's true. I also have this stillness, this sense of peace, of presence that I experience sometimes, maybe in nature, maybe in communion with other people or alone, maybe just in silence. A sense of presence that go beyond the thinking mind, that brings us to the present moment and the appreciation of the present moment, beyond the narrative and the mind that says this is good, this is bad. Just a sense of peace in the present moment. And finally, as we still are sitting there and aware of these three areas of our energy, our area of the abdomen and the sense of grounding and safety, and then the area of the heart with a sense of spaciousness and interconnection, and the area of the third eye with a sense of light and inner peace. Feel the three resonating with each other as I'm going to hit the gong several times. Feel the continuity of the energy of your presence in the world, your interconnections, and your sense of being spirit, the grounding, the spaciousness, and the light and inner peace. So, as we look back to the year that passed and these last days of 2020, and we are getting ready to pass through the portal into 2021, are we going to go through that portal with justice and everything? Just are we going to continue with our attachment to the old ways, or are we going to um, within ourselves at the level of intention decide to drop this and move in a more light way, in a more positive way, into creating a better world in whatever way we can for ourselves and our immediate community and maybe the greater world. And it could be something so simple like practicing metta every day. We are going to do some of that in perhaps our next class. Um, and sending love to other people, or maybe you see some way that you can share some of what you have with somebody else who needs it more, or uh, whatever way, you just keep it open and it will keep manifesting for your own life and for the life of interconnection. I wanted to do a practice with you that also embodies this and is standing, and it's more it's part of one of the 5 kriyas, these 5 actions to integrate. And um, it it's similar to something we have done before, but this is the first of the 5. We have often done this, the 5th one. This is the first one. Comes from Qigong, this system of practicing vital energy for our relation to ourselves and our well-being and good health, and also our interconnection with the earth, and receiving life and processing what life gives us. So in this particular one, we are going to be doing it standing in a moment, but first I'm going to demonstrate it sitting. Okay, we are going to bring our hands up and we are going to have our fingers pointing down. So they are coming more or less at the height of the shoulders, and they are having the fingers pointing down. And then they go up and they are going to bring the light, um, receiving the light of that comes to us every day with many blessings and challenges that sometimes they bring. And we are receiving this like light, being bathed with that light and warmth of the sun and the energy of every day. And we are storing it, gathering it here at the abdomen. We have our hands like a triangle, and we are gathering it, breathing for a moment, breathing all that light. And then at some point, we let go of the negativity that may have arisen during that day or during that circumstance. And we are going to open our hands, and the hands are going to be kind of pointing in the direction of the legs. And so we imagine that through the legs, all this that we want to release goes along our legs and out of our feet, then goes down into the earth to be composted. And then we imagine that a deeper layer of water takes this away from us. The earth receives what we give it and takes it away to be composted towards the ocean or whatever. So, like the earth does it totally transforms whichever is being put there to replenish and bring new nurturing for more life. And so after we let go of that, that was by waste product of negativity that sometimes arises together with the experiences, then we are ready to take the cool energy from the earth through the soles of the feet up the legs, then it gets again stored here at the abdomen, like we had stored the yin, the yang energy of the sun, the warmth. We now store the cooling energy here at the abdomen. They mix, the yin yang energy mix here, nourishes us. We breathe it in, and once we find our balance again, we bring it to our heart and lungs and we share it. And we are back to the beginning. So the fingers are pointing down, then we are going up, receiving this that life brings out every day. First taking it as light, aligning ourselves with what's coming up every day, experiencing it as light, gathering it at the level of our abdomen as potential for action. And if there are any residues of anything negative, then we open the hands like this and we imagine that all that comes down along the legs and out of the feet into the earth, and that the earth takes it away with a deep current of water towards the ocean. And then we are ready again to receive through the soles of our feet up the legs and to gather that cooling energy, that yin energy of the earth, which is much more cooling, receptive, supportive. It mixes here with the energy of the sun and the heavens. That's more an energy for action. Both yin yang are nourishing us at the level of our presence in the world, healing, balancing anything that needs to be healing and balanced. And then, since the journey never ends with us, it's always for our life of interrelation, comes up to heart and lungs, and we offer it to all our surroundings. And one last time, so it will be 3 times. We are doing it first sitting. For those of you that perhaps it's easier for you to do it sitting. Gathering the energy for action, the warmth at our abdomen. And whatever residues of negativity could be there because of the narration that we put onto the situation. This is good, this is bad, our mind makes it so. We let go of that along the legs and out of the feet and into the earth. We give it to the earth accepts it, takes it away. And then we are ready to receive from the earth this healing energy through the soles of the feet, through the legs, back to the abdomen, mixing there the receptive energy of the earth and the more action-oriented energy of the sun. Healing ourselves, balancing ourselves. And then again, we bring it to our heart and lungs and we offer it to our surroundings. And this third time, we turn the palms down and we float the hands down. Okay, let's do it standing. Okay, so we stand with the feet shoulder width apart, body straight and relaxed. Imagine that the head is like a sphere that is perfectly balanced on top of the sphere of the chest, and both of them on top of the sphere of the abdomen. and that there is this unbroken column of energy that runs from the pelvic floor to the top of the head, which allows us to be straight and relaxed. The shoulders, everything is hanging like drapes, the arms. And all those three spheres are supported on the hips and on the legs are very much in contact with the floor. We are going to raise our toes and then lower them to feel the contact of the floor and the feet. And one more time, raising the toes and then lowering the toes, feeling the contact with the floor. And from here, with the body straight and relaxed, we are going to bring the hands, float the arms up to the level of the shoulders, and then have the fingers pointing, the palms pointing out and the fingers pointing down. And we bring this up, receiving the energy from the heavens, the light of the sun, all the blessings and challenges that every day brings, and in this case also the whole 2020 has brought, is bringing, and receiving that with an open heart as a blessing, as light. We receive that as light and we gather it at the level of our abdomen. And then whatever negativity, fears, irritability, sadness, grief, confusion, anger, any residues of negativity, negative feelings, we let them go with compassion. We let them go so that we can be more available to ourselves and others. In as much as we can, we relinquish that which is burdening us. And we imagine that it goes along the legs and out of the feet and into the earth, goes deep into the earth and is taken away. And then from the earth, we immediately receive through the soles of the feet this new clean energy to keep growing, to keep understanding, to keep evolving. And we hold that energy here. It mixes with energy of the light of the sun that comes every day, even in gray days. The sun is always there, the blue sky is always there. Those two energies, the energy of action and the energy of reception, the yin and yang, mix at our abdomen and heal us, balance us, integrate everything. With acceptance and trust. We breathe it through our system. And then we bring the hands up to share this that we have experienced with everything that is around us. And once more, we repeat, taking in, open to receive what every day brings us, what every year brings us. Seeing it as a blessing and an opportunity to keep growing. We receive that energy in our area of our abdomen. We store it there. And all the fears and doubts that we might have, still we let them go. We relinquish as much as we can. Imagine that they leave us coming down along our legs, going to our feet and going deep into the earth to be composted. The earth takes it away, some deep layer of water takes it away to the ocean for further composting. And we are open to receive this energy, new energy, nourishing energy that the earth is giving us. Comes along our legs and it's stored again at our abdomen, healing us, integrating everything. The energy of action of the sun and the energy of receptivity and integration of the earth. And once we feel restored, heal, breathe it through our system. And remembering that the journey never ends just with us, that we are part of a much bigger journey. We bring it to our heart and lungs and share it with everyone. I think we did two, so the third one would be this one. Let's do it in silence. Breathing in the energy of the sun and putting ourselves to work with whatever every day brings, every year brings. Seen as an opportunity to grow. We trust and receive this energy for action. And whatever fears or other emotions that limit us are still there, we relinquish them as much as we can. Let them leave our system by sliding along the legs, down to the floor, to the earth, that takes it away to be composted. Imagine that let's go deep in the earth and there is some water that takes it away. And you are now free to receive again this energy of receptivity, understanding, grounding. Comes and is stored in your abdomen. It mixes with the energy for action that comes from the sun, the yin and the yang together. The cooling and the warmth. And we invite these two lights, the light of the sun and the light of the moon, which is cooling like the earth is cooling, to be present in our life for inspiration and for peace, for inner strength, so that we can not only envision a better world, but have the inner strength to keep working for it, to manifest it as a reality. We bring this to our heart and lungs, and we share this understanding and blessing of a new world of love and integration with everyone. Then we turn the palms down, we lower our hands. Bring our feet together, hands together. Remember one or two blessings of this year and give thanks for it. Then we bring our hands to our sea of tranquility point, centering ourselves again, and sending this experience of peace, of hope, trust to someone who might be needing it right now. Maybe a loved one, friend, or relative, neighbor, or if you like, a whole group, doctors and nurses and essential workers, and even being bigger, if you like, all of the humanity who's suffering right now. May they find new healing. May the ones that can contribute to make change, and we all can somehow actively, consciously participate in it. May there be peace and light in the heavens, in the plants, in the animals, in the waters, in the wind, in all sentient beings, all human beings. And may that peace and that light also begin with us and begin everywhere in the hearts of human beings that are awakening at this moment from these incredible challenges and opportunities to wake up. Many people are waking up. May we all support each other. And also for all of you who are in this community, we send light to each of you. May you end the year in peace and begin the year with light and trust. Thank you. So I hope that some of these parts of it, any part, besides the experience of today, you can practice some more. I'm going to be sending you some videos that have very similar practices so that if you want to practice during the week until we meet again, you can. Some of these videos are in the New Paradigms, Amelia Barilli. And since we did the practice together, if I send it to you, you'll be able to also practice during the week. Yeah, thank you.